Have you ever wondered how Nairobi, the bustling metropolis of Kenya, came into existence? The story begins in the closing years of the 19th century. The year was 1899, a time when the African continent was being reshaped by colonial powers and the iron horse was making its way through the heart of East Africa. Nairobi sprang up as a railway depot during the construction of the Uganda Railway, a strategic project engineered by the British colonial government. This monumental railway stretched from the coastal city of Mombasa all the way to the interior of East Africa, piercing through the wild and untamed landscapes. But why Nairobi, you may ask? The answer lies in its geographical advantages. Nestled in the highlands, it boasted a central location, making it an ideal choice for a depot. But its allure didn't stop there. Nairobi also offered a reliable water supply, a vital resource for both man and machine in those early railway days. Despite its strategic importance, the initial state of Nairobi was far from the vibrant city we know today. Picture a simple tented camp sprawled across the land, housing the railway workers who toiled day in and day out to connect the vast expanse of East Africa. This modest beginning, marked by tents and tracks, laid the foundation for the city that would soon rise from the African soil. Nairobi, a name derived from the Maasai phrase Enkare Nairobi, meaning cool waters, was about to undergo a transformation that would forge its destiny. As the tents gave way to more permanent structures and the railway depot grew in significance, Nairobi was on the brink of a new era. So, the stage was set, and Nairobi began its journey from a humble railway depot to a thriving city. The echoes of hammers and chisels, the hiss of steam engines, and the dreams of those early inhabitants were the first chapters in the tale of Nairobi, a tale of resilience, growth, and transformation. How did Nairobi transition from a railway depot to a growing settlement? This question takes us to the early years of the 20th century, when Nairobi began to expand and evolve significantly. The completion of the Uganda Railway in 1901 was a turning point for Nairobi. This monumental project, which connected the coastal city of Mombasa to the interior of East Africa, brought unprecedented change to the region. The railway opened up new opportunities for trade, commerce, and movement, making Nairobi a strategic hub. The city was no longer just a railway depot, it was now a gateway to the heart of East Africa. As the railway brought growth, it also attracted settlers. Europeans in particular were drawn to the area. They saw the opportunities created by the railway and were enticed by the fertile highlands surrounding Nairobi. The city began to grow as new settlers arrived, bringing with them their skills, resources, and ambitions. They set up homes, businesses, and farms, contributing to the rapid development of the city. In 1907, Nairobi's status was elevated even further. It officially became the capital of British East Africa. This was a significant milestone in the city's history. As the capital, Nairobi became the administrative and political center of the region. It was now the heart of British East Africa, a place where important decisions were made and policies were implemented. This development further fueled the city's growth, attracting more settlers and solidifying its importance in the region. From a simple railway depot, Nairobi had transformed into a bustling settlement. It was a city on the move, a city growing and changing with each passing day. The railway had sparked this transformation, bringing people, opportunities, and change. It was a period of growth and development, a time when Nairobi began to take shape as the city we know today. Nairobi was now on the map, not just as a railway depot, but as the capital of British East Africa. How did Nairobi fare under British colonial rule and during the World Wars? Let's delve into the city's history during this transformative period. From the 1920s, Nairobi evolved into a significant administrative and commercial center under British colonial rule. The city's strategic location, initially chosen for its role in the railway construction, now served a broader purpose. Nairobi became an important hub for regional trade, commerce, and governance, its influence extending beyond its borders. The onset of World War I brought a different dimension to Nairobi's role under British rule. As war raged on the global stage, Nairobi found itself a crucial cog in the British war machine. The city served as a military base and a supply center, providing essential resources for British forces. Despite being thousands of miles away from the main theaters of war, Nairobi was inextricably linked to the global conflict, its everyday life shaped by the demands and devastations of war. The end of the war didn't bring an immediate return to normalcy. Instead, it marked the beginning of a new chapter in Nairobi's history. The city, having witnessed the power and the cost of global politics, was ripe for change. The aftermath of the Second World War saw an increased push for independence and self-governance in many parts of Africa, including Kenya. Nairobi became a hotbed for political activism, with demands for freedom echoing through its streets. The city was no longer just a commercial and administrative center. It was now a center for political thought and action. The seeds of independence were sown, and they were being nurtured by the city's increasingly vocal populace. The whispers of freedom grew louder as the years rolled by, and by the time the 1960s came around, they were impossible to ignore. Nairobi was on the cusp of a new era, one that promised self-rule and the end of colonial control. The winds of change were blowing, and Nairobi was not left untouched. What role did Nairobi play in Kenya's struggle for independence, you might ask? Well, let's take a journey back to the mid-20th century, to a time of turbulence and transformation. It was the era of the Mau Mau uprising, a period shaped by the courage of a people yearning for freedom. This rebellion against British colonial rule originated in the central regions of Kenya, including Nairobi during the early 1950s. The Mau Mau, largely comprised of the Kikuyu people, championed the fight for land and freedom, a struggle that would shake the foundations of colonial authority. Nairobi was more than a mere backdrop to these historical events. The city was the heartbeat of the rebellion, pulsating with the energy of political activities and protests. The streets of Nairobi bore witness to countless demonstrations, echoing with the voices of those who dared to demand independence. In the heart of the city, secret oath-taking ceremonies were held, pledging allegiance to the Mau Mau cause. These gatherings, often held under the cover of darkness, were a testament to the resilience and determination of the people of Nairobi. As the 1950s gave way to the early 1960s, the struggle for independence intensified. The city of Nairobi was a hive of political activity, as key figures strategized and mobilized, their actions gradually chipping away at the edifice of British colonial rule. The culmination of these efforts came on a day that would forever be etched in the annals of Kenyan history. On December 12, 1963, Kenya gained independence from British colonial rule, with Nairobi standing tall as its capital. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a people who had dared to dream of freedom. The dawn of independence had arrived, and Nairobi was at the heart of it all. As the sun rose over the city, it illuminated a new era, a time of sovereignty and self-governance, a chapter of hope and promise. The Mau Mau uprising had paved the way for this moment, forever altering the course of Nairobi's history. What has been Nairobi's journey like since Kenya gained independence? In the aftermath of independence in 1963, Nairobi embarked on a new chapter as the capital of a free nation. The city began to grow exponentially, asserting itself as a political, economic, and cultural hub of Kenya. The heart of the nation pulsed with the rhythm of progress, echoing in the hustle and bustle of its streets. However, the path to progress was not without its hurdles. Rapid urbanization brought with it a wave of challenges. Infrastructure struggled to keep pace with the expanding city, and social inequalities began to rear their heads. On one hand, towering skyscrapers began to dot the skyline, a testament to Nairobi's economic growth. On the other, sprawling informal settlements highlighted the city's struggle with inequality and poverty. Yet, Nairobi's spirit remained undeterred. The city began to carve out a niche for itself on the global stage. It transformed into a major center for regional diplomacy, becoming a meeting ground for minds from around the world. International conferences were held within its borders, and the United Nations set up offices in the city. Nairobi was no longer just a city, it was a global player, shaping conversations and influencing policies. Fast forward to the present day, and Nairobi has evolved into a bustling metropolis. It teems with a diverse population, each individual contributing to the city's vibrant culture and dynamic economic activities. From the buzz of the central business district to the tranquil beauty of the Nairobi National Park, the city offers a unique blend of urban life and natural beauty. The pulse of progress that began post-independence continues to beat strongly, driving Nairobi forward. From a simple railway depot to a bustling metropolis, Nairobi's journey reflects the dynamic changes that Kenya has undergone, from its colonial past to its emergence as an independent and thriving nation.